When did you start talking creative, and what were your expectations, and who did you talk to that about at all?
The only expectation that we had was we had talked to Cody in January of 2019. This is when they had, there was nothing official, but there were talks of maybe they were going to do something. And Cody and I were talking as friends, and he said, I'd love to have you and Cash or you and Dash here with us. We would, if you guys ever had the opportunity to come, we would make sure that the tag division was built around you guys and the Bucks. And, that's the only expectation that we had coming in. And then obviously we expected to work with the Bucks at some point. But I remember thinking, a few years after it happened, a decade after it happened, Hogan and Flair in '94, right? Bash at the Beach.
WCW, right.
WCW, sure. Yep. I remember, about a decade later, I'm in the business and I'm trying to, figure out things for myself, or like trying to make sense of a lot of things. And I always wondered why they immediately went with Hogan and Flair. That was the match. That was the money match. That was the dream match we all wanted to see. And we knew that Hogan was going to pop a rating, and he was going to pop a house, a couple of houses, just by coming in. So why would we initially put Hogan and Flair in that position, right? That was my thought. Right. Why not give Hogan, I don't know, for example, what if you gave him Steve Austin?
Right.
And let Steve Austin work with him, and they have a little program, and one, put Steve Austin in the same light as Hulk Hogan.
Sure.
But also let's ride the wave of Hogan coming into WCW, make the money off of that. And then when Flair jumps on board with Hogan, then we can continue to ride the wave.
Right. And because the Flair match is always there. Just like the Bucks and FTR thing. It's always there. You can always go to it. So why rush into it?
So with the Hogan deal, it's like they went Flair, and then I was like, okay, we're going to go to Booty Man or Brutus Beefcake, So it was a weird booking decision to me. And this is, again, me coming in to the business in 2004 and trying to make sense of things, and even now trying to make sense of things. So I thought coming in, we talked to the Bucks about this, and we talked to, at the time we had a cordial. We had never met them before. We'd still never met the Bucks. We had only talked through text. So we were sending ideas back and forth to the Bucks, to Tony. And I remember thinking, look, people expect me and Cash to come in and jump Nick and Matt. They expect us to come in and just beat them down, and let's go ahead and race to that. I said, but we need to. I said, I think we can wait on that a little bit. People are going to be excited because at the time, there weren't a ton of people just jumping to AEW. You know what I mean? They had a few key jumps, obviously, like Jericho, which I don't even think he jumped. I think he was, with New Japan. But they had a few key jumps like Moxley. I think the week before us, maybe it was Matt Hardy. But they hadn't really had any jumps. So we can, get the buzz off of us coming over.
Right. The jump's enough.
Right. And then we can build to this match. We had sent some ideas back and forth to those guys and Tony, and that's kind of, where we left it. We had no expectation except for we were told that the division was going to be built around us and the Bucks, and we were told that doesn't mean we were never going to lose. It meant that we were going to be the two entities, and they were going to put all the tag teams around us, and we were going to work with them and try to elevate all the tag teams. And we knew that eventually there was going to be a FTR versus Young Bucks match.
And we all wanted to see it. But before you debut, I got to know, you had to come up with new names.
Yeah.
And, and I think you said on Twitter that it's a very Demolition influenced. But were there any rejected names? Were there anything being kicked around, any second places? How did you get to Dax and Cash?
No, it was very, like I said, Axe and Smash. We wanted to pay tribute to them. Dax and Cash. Plus, when I played football in high school, I was, they called me David the Axe Harwood, because they knew I was a huge wrestling fan, and that's just what I was called there. So I decided to go with that. And Cash, like I said, we just were going to pay tribute to Axe and Smash, and that was it. Nothing was rejected. The only thing that was rejected was our initial FTR name.